Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to give you the feedback I consider necessary for your manuscript in order to obtain the points from last Wednesday participation. Okay, first I want to say congratulations because the way you did the analysis, it was, for me, very complete and interesting. The idea of comparing South Korea, United States, and Mexico political advertisement ways. It's really interesting for me, so let's start. In general, don't use we because it's an academic paper. So instead of using we, change it to third person, please. In here, maybe a comma will be nice. This is a really good idea. I found it really interesting. Maybe you can use Mexico has a different political advertisement or advertising panorama in order to make the concept more clear. And you repeat on twice on the sentence in here and then here. Here, the idea is a little bit hard to understand in English. In Spanish, it sounds good, but the translation is weird. So maybe you should, instead of saying the positive advertising is more focused, maybe you can be a little bit shorter and say positive advertising is focused, and that's it. And also here, this idea, maybe you can rephrase it because it's a little bit confusing. Then here, use the third person. Also here, I didn't understand what you were trying to say. Well, I did, but not in English. In here, this is a good idea in Spanish when you say it out loud, but maybe in English it's hard to understand. So try to rephrase it. This is not clear, again, because I don't understand what this is doing here, but just rephrase it. In here, where you say, meanwhile, as the case of South Korea, the most political advertisements are positive, you need to add the source because it's important. It's a hard data, so use it. Maybe you can use, instead of saying hypothesis 2 times, just make it one sentence, the 2 ideas. Here, affects is affected in past tense. This is a really nice way to analyze the information. I liked it. What else? Everything is fine here. Then here again, use a third person. These tools is bad spell, so just change it to this with E instead of I. And then here, when you say Mexico as just the subtitle, make it a little bit more interesting, because if you're reading it and imagine a person found this paper on the internet and you just say Mexico as your subtitle, it doesn't attract attention. So maybe just say political advertisement panorama in Mexico or something more complete. When you say, usually when we listen political marketing, we relate this concept with the traditional meaning of marketing, but that is wrong. Why is it wrong? That's an opinion. So maybe you can develop the idea of this sentence without this on the bottom to make it more an statement rather than an opinion. I don't know. And another tip, when you're writing an academic paper, you don't need to use parentheses. This is bad for the format. One of my previous professors said to me that everything that is on parentheses should be and can be in the sentence. So use commas instead. Here, A suggestion I do for the whole paper is that when you use a phrase in Spanish, translate it to English in the main manuscript, and then here at the bottom, you can use the footnote, and you can add like number 1, and then on the bottom, changing both, for example, voto el cambio in Spanish. And that way it can be understood because, for example, that is a really good idea, what Fox said in the debate. No one is going to understand it if they don't know Spanish. So that's a suggestion. And again, here, comment 20. Translate it, please. Azteca needs capital letter, and Korea, everything's fine. In here, you need a source because you cannot state that just because you did. And United States. Here, I think you should add, to sum up the previous ideas in order to make the idea clear. And that's it. I will send this to you. Also with the, I suggest that you read this, The Sleeper Effect of Negative Political Advertising, especially for the US section. And that's it. Thank you.